Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. My name is KidLee, and this is episode 10 of the Intergalactic News Network. In this week's episode, we are going to take a look at the news of the week. We'll check out some dev chats, and then we'll round out the show with a look at an add-on and a little bit of Q&A. So here we go. In this week's news, more information has been released about the forthcoming Strain content. Some new videos and concept art have been released, so let's take a look at that. Several new housing items have been unveiled. As you can see, they are quite strange. If you are going for that scary or dark theme on your housing plot, these should work out quite well. One new plug has been announced, the Strain Maw. So if you always wanted your own creepier Sarlacc pit, well, here you go. 3 new dye colors will come as part of the strain. We have Scourge Blue, Corruption Purple, and Icrosis Orange. There will be an all-new emote. There will be 2 new mounts, the Corrupted Hoverboard and the Corrupted Trask. And finally, it was announced that there will be all new path missions with the strain. So, let's go ahead and move on to some dev chat. I think in every form of media that the devs have access to, they continue to update us on the progress that they are making with the bots and hacks. Basically saying that this is something they are working on each and every day, and that it's very much a battle. When the devs do something, then the hackers will do something to counter it. Then the devs will do something, then the hackers will do something to counter it. But rest assured, it's something they are working on and hope to have a better handle on in the near future. There are upcoming changes to gold medal rewards from dungeons and adventures. The post reads, based on the feedback we've been getting from both the players and our internal testers, we are planning on making revisions to the superb quality loot that is awarded in Dungeons and Adventures. The existing gold medal rewards are being removed from gold medal completions. These rewards will instead drop off of the final bosses or encounters for the Dungeons and Adventures. The table from which this loot drops has a chance to be selected and is granted in addition to that regular boss loot. Any medals earned will instead give group bonus rolls on an instance-wide loot list by the end of the instance, on top of the extra coin and experience rewards. By way of example, completing a bronze medal would provide 1 bonus reward roll on top of the regular boss kills and completion rewards, while silver would provide 2 and gold would then provide 3. A post was made asking Carbine if they would consider instituting a mandatory 2-step verification. The devs then responded saying, "We are working on implementing some quality of life improvements to the 2-step factor authenticator. This should persuade many players to use it." A couple of housing updates. Number 1, the Chua mailbox is being fixed and should work as a regular mailbox soon. Number 2, as of right now, if you change to a new house, you will lose your sky if you have bought a different one. The devs responded by saying in the short term, we'll be making a fix that will allow you to keep your sky when changing your house. In the long term, we're working on a solution to improve the overall remodel system so housing fanatics can switch more freely between options they have purchased. And finally, on housing, there is a 300 item limit for outside of the house. This has caused quite the uproar as people want the ability to truly customize their sky plots. The devs have now responded by saying, "We totally hear you guys and understand your frustrations. The limits are conservatively low at launch to allow us room to grow. We have lots of awesome features planned for the future, and we need to make sure that things run smoothly. The last thing we want to do is raise the limits too high, then basically have performance issues." So it's something that they are definitely working on. So let's go ahead and move on to the add-on of the week. The add-on that we're going to take a look at today is called Prox HUD. And basically what this does is there are certain abilities in the game that are only usable after landing a crit or perhaps another factor of some type. So what this add-on does is it allows you to more easily see when these abilities are ready for use. And basically, this little area where I'm circling with my mouse is where this is going to appear. So it basically flashes on the screen saying you can now use this ability. And I have also brought up the sort of management screen for Prox HUD if you actually want to see the different options. You can, lock, unlock. You can choose which abilities to use or don't use. You can add sounds. So you can do all these little things to customize it the way you want. But let me go ahead and use an example here. So I have got Punish on number 6, and it's only usable after landing a crit. So I'm going to come up here to this guy, and I'm just going to use my default attack until we get a crit. And there it is already. You see it popped up on the screen there, telling me that I can now use Punish if I chose to do so. But he's already dead. But let's go ahead and do it one more time here, and I'll actually use it. Here's a guy. Hello. So it's popped up here. Now we can hit number 6. Bam. But there you go. That's basically what Prox HUD is all about. It's just to ensure that you don't accidentally miss your big moves. So it's a pretty good add-on, and I use it all the time. So let's go ahead and round the show out with a little bit of Q&A. If you would like to submit questions for future shows, send questions to KidLee, asf@gmail.com, or send me a private message on YouTube. So the first question of the day comes in from Tiwa. They ask, is there any way I can re-customize my character? In short, it was thrown together quickly to test the class. Now I'm level 23, and having to level science and tailoring, I hate how he looks. Is there anything I can do in-game to at least change his hair or hopefully redo how he looks entirely? And unfortunately, the answer to that is basically no. The devs actually made a post last week saying that a barbershop type deal is something that they definitely want to add into the game at some point. But right now, it's sort of on the back burner as they're trying to deal with just simply getting the bugs fixed and working on new content like the strain. But I think, most every other MMO has got that sort of feature, so I'm sure it's going to be in at some point. But the real question is just, how long is it going to take them? So I guess we'll just have to wait and see on that. And the last question for today comes in from Cartana. They ask, I can't figure out where I can see how much prestige I have without actually going to a vendor. Any help would be appreciated. Thanks. I'll show you a little trick here. If we take a look at my character on screen here, you can go ahead and go into your inventory. And by default, the inventory screen is positioned like this. But you'll notice that there's actually a little wrench over here. So if you actually drag your inventory over a little bit and click this wrench, it will come up with your equipped bags, but it also has your different currency types. And here you go. Here's your prestige, elder gems, renown, crafting vouchers. So all of that information is right there. Now there is actually an add-on, and this is an add-on that I might have to actually display or feature in my add-on segment. But there's an add-on you can get where it'll actually display all of your currency down here on the bottom without even having to do this step. So, actually, that's probably an add-on that I should get, because it's kind of a neat one. But, yep, there you go, nonetheless. But, yep, that will go ahead and do it, ladies and gentlemen, for this week's episode of the Intergalactic News Network. So, everybody stay tuned for my continuing coverage on WildStar. And with that being said, everybody keep playing and have fun.